Alright, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a brand new video for y'all, and today I'm going to be doing an NFL teams tier list maker. So, this is going to be based on the next season, and based on this season's results and how I see this team progressing in the upcoming season. And so, we'll have all 32 teams ranked, and so it goes Super Bowl favorites, Super Bowl contenders, playoff teams, potential wild cards, missing playoff teams, mediocre at best, young but intriguing, number one pick contention. Now, I don't really understand why I don't really understand why young but intriguing is a slot because I don't know. If you're young but intriguing, but you're this low, I think you might as well be at mediocre. But because there's missing playoff teams as well. You know what? I'll remove this one. So we have six tiers that we could put these teams in, and I'm gonna be rating this based on how these teams performed, what I think about them. Like I said, I'm a Bills fan, full disclosure, so I'll leave the Bills to the end, but let's get into it. So, the Rams, Stafford. I like Stafford a lot. I like Stafford. I like the Rams a lot. I don't like Sean McVay personally because I think he's kind of annoying as a coach, but they have won a Super Bowl with him. He's a really good coach, though, nonetheless. They have pretty good pieces in LA. I think they're really, you can't really ever discount them. They're always Super Bowl contenders, always going to be good. So I have to put the Rams in Super Bowl contenders. I don't know if they're favorites. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say they are, but they're pretty good, man. They're always a solid team. Super Bowl favorites. There is one team that comes to mind. And I want to say this really quickly. I despise the Seahawks personally, but unfortunately they are Super Bowl favorites. They're very likely to be in that category of teams that you would expect to maybe win it or win it big. And as much as I hate them, and I hate them because I actually don't think that Sam Darnold is a great quarterback compared to other QBs around the league. But that's just my personal opinion. They are a good team because they did win the Super Bowl. So you'd have to assume that they would be favorites to some extent. Next up, and their defense is really good, by the way. Just want to say that as well. Who can we go next? We'll go with the Commanders. I think the Commanders are a very interesting team. And as much as I'd like to put them in Super Bowl contenders, I don't think they are. I think they'll be playoff team. They'll be a playoff team for sure. I think maybe they make it to the second round. They'll definitely win the wild card round. I don't think they'll clinch their conference, and then make it, and get that bye. I don't think they will, but I think they'll make it to the second round. Will they make it to the third round? Who knows? I mean, maybe they'll make it, but I don't see that happening this season. But I think they're a good team. They're a good team nonetheless. Next up, we'll go with the Giants. Okay. The Giants are a potential wild card. The Giants are a potential wild card. And I really do like the Giants. I really do like Jackson Dart. I like Scatterbo. I like that team a lot. I really do think they have a lot of potential. They also have Abdul Carter, I think. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I think they do. I don't follow the Giants too much, but yeah. Yeah, he's with the Giants. He's a really, really good player, man. I remember following him when he was in college. He's really, really good. So they do have the pieces. They just need a top receiver, in my opinion, before they really get that to the next step. But I think they're going to be really good. I think they'll be really good. I think they'll make the wild card. They'll be better than they were last year. They ran into some injury problems, but I think they'll be better this year. Who can we go next? The Cowboys. They're mediocre. They're mediocre at best. Listen. I hate Dallas Cowboys fans, but this isn't even against them. Honestly, this is against the team. The team is not good. The team is simply not good, and that's a problem, right? Um, I don't like what they've been doing the last couple seasons. They missed the playoffs, so I'm not really surprised there. But they really did suck this last season, and I don't see them improving because they really haven't made any changes. Jerry Jones is getting way too involved, and if they want to have any chance of competing, he needs to take a step back because honestly, his decisions have not been good. Um, we'll go with the Eagles. Okay, I love the Eagles. I really do, and I'm a Bills fan, and I still love the Eagles. I genuinely love the Eagles. There's something on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is one of those guys. He's just a dog. He's just a dog. He's a champion. He's won a Super Bowl. I remember. I don't know if you guys remember that clip. There was a clip right after they lost in the playoffs this year. It was Jalen Hurts with Nick Sirianni, and they were in like a conference room, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll be back." Jalen Hurts like, "You'll be back," or "We'll be back." I mean, and it was almost like like those movie scenes where you kind of see that. It really did seem like that, and I guess some people might find it corny or whatever, but I really do believe in Jalen Hurts. I think he is the one guy, and forget the roster for a second. They have a really good roster, but just Jalen Hurts on his own, him leading that offense, they can really be Super Bowl contenders this year. And I think he is one that he reminds me a lot of. I mean, I know he hasn't won nearly as many championships, and they're different sports, but he reminds me a lot of Michael Jordan, right? His mentality. He just seems like he's very, very angry when he loses, and he always wants to win. And you can see that. You can see it in him. So I think they're Super Bowl favorites, man. I think they'll be very, very good this year. They might even clinch their, they might even get the bye because of how good they'll be. But watch out for the Eagles. Watch out for the Eagles, man. Who can we put next? I mean, there's a couple teams I want to put lower. I'm going to put the Cardinals at the bottom. They suck. They're not going to be good. Um, Dolphins are going to be bad. They're going to be bad, man. They're going to be really bad. Raiders are going to suck as well. Panthers. I think they'll be a potential wild card again. I don't think I see them being a real playoff team yet. Like for sure they'll make the playoffs kind of thing, but I think they'll be good. I think they'll be decent. Oh yeah, the Jets are going to be awful, man. They're just such a horrible team right now. Um, what else could we put at the bottom? I think oh yeah, we could put the Titans. They're a disaster. Browns, they're pretty bad. Yeah, they're kind of number one pick contention, man. I mean, they're pretty bad. There's no denying it. I think the Colts are mediocre. They'll be mid. They'll be like I don't know, maybe like a 6-10 team or 7-9 team, something like that. Or sorry, 6-11 team or a 7-10 team. My bad. They won't be like missing the playoffs, meaning like a 9-8 team, but they'll be mediocre. They won't be like awful, like a 2-15 kind of team, but they'll be pretty bad. Same for the Saints. They won't be that good. Um, who else can we add here? Oh yeah, Vikings too. And I'm gonna shock some people with this. I think the Broncos are gonna be a potential wildcard team. I don't see them as a playoff team. I don't see them as Super Bowl contenders at all, despite them having made it to the third round. And I definitely don't see them as Super Bowl favorites. I don't even see them. No, I don't see them as missing the playoffs. But I don't like the Broncos. I don't think they're that good. I think Bo Nix is extremely overrated. And despite him having gone injured, maybe they would have made it to the Super Bowl. Who knows? But it wouldn't have changed anything because let's be honest, the Seahawks simply just outclassed the Patriots. Um, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Broncos. I think they're frauds. I said it from the beginning. When they beat the Bills, I thought they were very fraudulent when they did so. And I didn't think they deserved to beat us, to be quite honest with you. Next up, we got the Buccaneers. I think they'll be missing the playoffs. I don't think the Buccaneers are who they used to be before. They're not a good team anymore. I mean, with when they had Brady, it made sense that they won the Super Bowl because that's Tom Brady. But Baker Mayfield is not that good. I have been a huge Baker Mayfield criticizer because I just don't think he has a shelf life, right? He has a shelf life. I don't think he has the longevity needed to win a Super Bowl or to consistently perform every year because you see it, right? His performance continues to drop every year. Like he had that one season where he was really good, and then last season I don't know what happened, but they sucked or they weren't as good. So I'm just saying this. I don't think the Bucks are going to make the playoffs, but I think they'll probably miss it by a little bit. They'll probably be in, and by the way, you have to keep in mind their division is extremely weak. Like the NFC South is just god awful. Like you have the Panthers, you have the Bucks, you have the Falcons, and then you have where are they at? I forgot where the other team is. But it's not a strong division by any means. So when you have those teams, it's like, okay, well of course you're always gonna have a chance to make the playoffs, but like are you gonna make it far? Probably not, right? So I don't have much confidence in them, and I think they're frauds too. Honestly, when they had those decent playoff runs, I thought they were fraudulent in those seasons. One team that I don't think is fraudulent are the Lions. I think they're Super Bowl contenders. I think the Lions will bounce back. I don't know what happened this season, to be quite honest with you. They had injuries and stuff, so it kind of made sense. But the Lions are a very good team. I really do trust the Lions. I really do like them. I like Jared Goff a lot, and I love St. Brown. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league. I think they're a really good team. They'll bounce back. Just watch. Um, we got the Falcons. I don't know what's going on with the Falcons. Every year, it just seems like they're always beyond mid. And by beyond mid, I always place those teams in like the 8 and 9 category. Like that's like, you do miss the playoffs, I guess. They'll be in this category, right, of just missing the playoffs. But they never make the wild card for some reason. Because it just seems like the other two teams always tend to beat them out to make the wild card. So it's weird. I don't know how the Panthers made it over the Falcons, to be honest with you. That was kind of surprising. But it happened, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. But they're not going to be good. They just always are so mid every single year. The Steelers are another weird team. I don't think they'll make the play. Actually, I don't know. Where do I put them? Do I put them a potential? I think they're a potential wild card. Actually, I don't want to disrespect them too much. Aaron Rodgers, probably his last year playing in the NFL. I think they might make the wild card. I wouldn't be surprised if they missed it. I would also not be surprised if they made it, but I don't think they'll make it past the wild card. If I were to guess. Next up, we have the Chiefs. Actually, no. We'll go with the Chiefs later on. Jaguars. I think they're a playoff team. I think the Jaguars, the Bills played them. The Bills were the 6th seed. The Jaguars were the 3rd seed. And, Jaguars, they did give us a run for our money. I thought they were pretty good. I thought they played really well. We played in Jacksonville, but I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they have a decent roster built. I think they have decent enough coaching. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a good quarterback. So I think they'll be a playoff team. I mean, some might say they should be a potential wild card, but I think they're a playoff team. I think they'll make it. And this is where it gets tough because I really think all of these teams have the potential to make the playoffs, but that won't happen. Let's just be honest. And one of those teams I don't think will make the playoffs, it's going to surprise some people, but it's going to be the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens are good. I always have had something against the Ravens, and I just don't see them making the playoffs again. The Chiefs missed the playoffs this year, and for them, I'll put them in playoff teams. Are they Super Bowl contenders? Maybe. Maybe I should put them up here, right? Because they did have an off year. But just based on how bad they actually were last season, I don't want to, overestimate them. And then we have a situation where they just make the playoffs in our second round exit, which would suck because I'd look like an idiot. But I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll be back to their form. They'll probably be like 11-6 or something, maybe 12-5. They won't be like dominant, like 14-3 or 15-2, but they'll be pretty good. One team I do think, and this might be my delusional thoughts as a Bills fan, I think the Bills have to win the Super Bowl this year. Josh Allen is actually turning 30 this year, or he might actually already be 30. That is extremely concerning as a Bills fan. That is very concerning because it just means that the window just keeps closing every year. But once you reach the 30s, it's like, I don't know, there's something that in my mind I feel like 30 is kind of old, but for a quarterback at least, I find it a bit concerning that he's 30, hasn't won a Super Bowl, hasn't even made it to the Super Bowl. It worries me quite a bit, but we'll see what happens. I really do think we have to be favorites though, man. We have to be. Like we just keep getting so close. And with the Broncos, I don't want to talk about that game, but I genuinely believe we should have won that game. And I don't know, it sucks that we didn't, but I think this has to be our year. This has to be. Houston Texans. I think they're a potential wild card. I don't think they're a lock as a playoff team. We did see what they're capable of doing with Stroud a few years ago in the playoffs. They were pretty good actually, but I feel like maybe that was fraudulent. right? Based on what we saw this year. The Packers, they have to be a playoff team. They have to be. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders. I think they have to be a playoff team though. Same thing with the Patriots. I don't think they were supposed to make the Super Bowl, but they did. So congrats to them, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think they'll be a playoff team. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be good. They won't be as good as they were this year, but they'll be good. Bengals. I think they're Super Bowl contenders, man. I think they are. I think they have to be. I don't know how you can't put them there. And then this is a shocking one, but I will put the Bears as Super Bowl favorites. Now, realistically, I don't think the Bears will win, just because it just seems like they're still a couple years away from actually winning a Super Bowl or being in serious, serious contention. However, I say that, I mean, out of the four teams that are Super Bowl favorites, I think they're probably the least Super Bowl favorites. Maybe I could put them in contenders, but I really do think they're actually a really, really good team. Caleb Williams he's for real, man. He's for real. I actually had a lot of doubts about Caleb Williams, but what he showed in the playoffs was just outstanding. And I think they can only go further. Niners. Yeah, I don't know. I, th- I think I think they'll be a playoff team. I think they'll make it. And then the Chargers, I think they're missing the playoffs. I really do think so. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's too many teams. So I will maybe bump down some of these teams away from this. Now, I do think there will be some shockers. Some teams will have injuries, whatever. I think the Niners will probably miss the playoffs, man. I think they will. And I have to say, I'm a big hater of the Patriots. I also am a big hater of the Broncos. And I do think they'll be mediocre, actually, now that I think of it. On second thought, I didn't find anything impressive with that Broncos team that beat the Bills. I don't like them at all. And so, yeah, I mean, this is my final ranking. I think a couple of these teams, I can see them, I could see like the Chiefs being Super Bowl competitors, right? I could see them going to the Super Bowl. I can also see, maybe the Texans making the third round, right? But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think the teams down below here are pretty much locks. Like they're gonna be awful. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure to ring that notification bell, and I will see y'all in the next one.